Listen. Listening to the bird sounds. I hope this picks up some of those. It's my dog in the background, not a coyote, by the way. Alright, so bird sounds for Tracking Tip Tuesday, right? Today I'm going to give you some helpful hints on heightening your situational awareness while you're in the outdoors, which is what tracking is all about. Having good situational awareness of what's going on the ground and in the air around you. So birds like to talk about three things. Well, I don't say they like to talk about, but they talk about three things primarily. They talk about sex. They talk about alarming, which is what you just heard. I hope you heard that. And they talk about food. And so when they're in the regular normal patterns and everything's okay, they'll have a feeding call, and it's just slow, methodical. It's not heightened, it's not quick. Typically, this is typical. When they get alarmed, obviously, they have real rapid sounds in their movement, which is what you just heard. And that's because the dog's over there and the bird got scared of the dog. And because of that, you can tell in your environment what's going on around you. So here's how we're going to apply that to a tracking situation. So let's say that you're tracking something, whatever it is, an animal, four-legged animal, or a human. And you're going through an environment and you're trying to stay stealthy so that you can see what's going on. And then in your direct vicinity, you hear alarm calls. Then the birds in your vicinity have alarmed your position, and they're letting everything else know what's going on around you. So that's when you need to readjust. Change your pattern, change your function, change the way you're moving, do something, but just change so that you're not doing the same thing, because you're telling everything in the woods that you're there. On the other hand, if you're reconning, surveying a position, whatever it is that you have need for, and you understand bird language and you recognize that the bird sound around you is just a regular feeding call, which is their natural state, then what you're going to be doing is you're going to be in a position where the birds are not alarming, the area that's around you is not alarming, and you're doing a good job. So it's basically an indicator for you that, hey, yeah, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing and not making waves. One of my teachers said this is, when you go in the woods, it's like throwing a rock into a pond, and you see the ripple effect of the rock being pushed into the water. It's the same thing when you walk into the woods. You have a ripple effect that goes out, and when that happens, you don't want to affect things far away, because that might be what you're out to find. So again, here's some resources for you, two that I've utilized very well. Well, let's talk about three. First off, there's a book called What the Robin Knows. It's a fantastic book. I highly recommend you look it up. It's a really good book. The resource that I use to help determine different bird sounds and what each one of them mean is a Peterson guide. It was a CD that I bought years ago that I've now moved over onto my online library, and I utilize it on a regular basis to study bird sound and continue to enhance and grow my skill set in that area. And the last is this: get outside. The more time you spend outside, the more time you'll hear those waves, and when you've made them and when you have not. So I'm giving you permission to spend more time outside.